Hello everyone, welcome to Adobe Live on today, whatever day today is. I think it's Wednesday, where we are definitely Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely Wednesday.
Definitely Wednesday. And this is a new segment. This is called Timmistified.
Yes.
And are you mystified, Tim?
Yes, because my name is apparently Veronica still, so I have to change that. Give me just 1 second. Oh,
I love what you did with your hair, Veronica. That's fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
And my voice, of course.
Yes. We've never tried this before. Nope. But this is a new segment we're going to have going on. So Tim is chief plate spinner, chief cook and bottle washer here, because as well as doing the control room for the stream, Tim is actually going to be presenting today as well. So that's fantastic. Now, just quickly, as you know, if you're a regular viewer and member of our community here, if you're watching on YouTube, that's just fine. The only thing is the chat on YouTube isn't actually the chat we see. So it's not the one you're really looking for. What you want to do is come across to behance.net/Adobe Live, and that's where you can get involved with the community. And great to see that we've got several of our regulars in already. Regulars. It was very Welsh then. We've got Sandrine, we've got Kirsty, we've got Jackie, we've got Pia, Guten Tag, we've got Gareth.
There you go.
Yeah.
A bit of German. Yeah.
Well, Pia's actually from, I think Pia's from Austria, so the Grüß Gott, I think. Is that
Grüß
correct?
Gott.
Grüß Gott, yes. So we've got Andreas, so again, Germany, Guten Tag, hello. Ding dong, ding dong.
50 quid, thank you.
50 quid, cheers. Yes, Pia is in Austria. There you go. Fantastic. Yep, so you're all here. And I guess we ought to go into what we're doing today, Tim.
I think that's a fantastic idea. How about we switch to your screen? Because Tony, you will start out the stream today. Hang on.
I will. There we are. So we're going to be doing some stuff in XD. Okay, we're going to do a few different things. We're going to start nice and simple with a quick segment from me for people who've possibly never even seen XD before, maybe are XD curious. And then Tim's going to dive into something super, super interesting, and actually perhaps not the way you'd expect XD to be used. And it's one of the ways he uses it to great effect in the workflow that we use to build part of the experience you're having right now.
Yes.
So if you've never used it before, the prime thing is about experiences. That can be a number of different things. It could be a presentation, it could be a website, it could be an app. That's what XD is all about. And so I thought, as a sort of a startup for this, I would show you me working on my new concept app called What Hat. Yeah, so it tells me what hat I could wear on any given day. So I've done a nice little home screen just here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Artboard tool here and just come across and create a new artboard. Now I'm doing this for a phone, right? So I can have it on my phone and I can get information on what hat to wear on a day-to-day basis. So artboards, unlike those in Illustrator, can have colors. So you can go ahead and add a color to your artboard if you choose to do so, and you can store colors in a number of different ways, either here in the color panel or make them components as well of your work. But that's all stuff we'll drill into a bit later on. So I'm just going to go with this gray just for now because I don't know what hat I want. This is a linked asset that I made in Illustrator. I'm just going to pop across to Illustrator and show you. There it is. There's what hat, just there, piece of live text, and there's the shape. Now this I exported okay, and then brought that in via import into XD. This one I copied and pasted into XD because XD understands most things from the Illustrator clipboard. So I'm just going to get this piece of art just here. I'm going to copy that, come across to this artboard and paste, and you'll notice that it pastes it in exactly the right place. I don't have to move things around. Now the next thing I'm going to do is create a placeholder for my hat graphics. So I'm going to have something like this shape just here. So I'm going to do a nice square there like so. Okay, and what I might decide to do, okay, is have a grid of those. So I'm just going to have a pretty straightforward grid, and I'm going to use this repeat grid functionality here, which allows me to repeat these out like so. And what the lovely thing is here, XD recognizes space as an object, so you can actually move that around and change that to your liking.
So I no longer have to manually copy and paste all of those shapes.
I know, it's just insane, right? Just insane. So I could just carry on down there like so. That nice little repeat grid. Now, how many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14. I'm just going to go 2 more. So I've got 16 things there. Not only do I have that, Tim, right, but I also don't have to place the things in individually. If I actually go out to my Finder just for a second, I've got a thing called Image Assets just here. And you can see all of these different hats that I might wear on any given day. Okay, so I'm going to select all of those. I'm going to drag them in and drop them on this target. Whoosh, there I go, you see. I've got all of those hats in one go. Now I can do other things like make this artboard scroll if I wanted to. I could go ahead and change the artboard size here. So if I just do that, for example, you can see how easy this is to do. And in fact, if I just go ahead and just play this artboard, sort of test it as a prototype, you can see now I can scroll through my hat selection. I know, but it's not for today's viewer, that one really. Tim, I think what people want to do these days, I'm just going to delete that.
I think this app has a fairly small user base, the hat app.
Yeah, it does just really.
One user, maybe.
Just one user. But that's why there's no login. I can just go ahead and use that for myself. But I'd like actually a bigger view of my hat du jour, as it were. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, notice how, by the way, when I zoom in and zoom out, can you see how fast that rendering is?
It might not come across on stream because we are having like a tiny delay to your end, but it will come across on my end. If you go to my screen, it will show up.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Nice. So here I've got a nice array of those shapes. And once again, I'm going to go back to my Finder, and I'm going to go to the desktop, go to my Hats app, go to these image assets like so. Okay, and I'm going to drag those in like that. Okay, so I've got all of my hats just there. Now what I'm going to do, because I can still model this grid exactly the way I want to model it, and everything will change, but I kind of want to separate this out. So I'm going to ungroup the grid, remove the extra hat from the end there. Okay, I'm going to select all of that stuff. I'm going to bring one of them onto the artboard just here like so. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a tad. Right, and what I'm going to do here is turn this into a horizontal scroll group. So I've got these small controls just here. New feature, brand new. Okay, so I can go ahead and determine the sort of window size that I want in the first place, like so. Okay, so I'm just going to drop that there. I could have other information with this. I don't just have a picture. I could go ahead and add text underneath that and have all of that scroll and change. But let me just show you how this works. Okay, when I go ahead and test the prototype. Now I can scroll through all of my different hats there. Look at that.
And just a hats up. This might, this might not work on every Windows machine because scrolling will behave differently. I think they are working on a solution where you can just click and drag, but this might not work on your Windows machine.
Yeah, not just yet. I mean, they'll fix those things pretty quickly. They're very, very good. And so once you've done something like that, what you would do, I'm just going to pop in some quick interaction very quickly before I hand over to Tim. You'd then go, once you've done all of your design, go to prototype mode, And this is where you would wire this up. So I'm just going to say here that if I tap on this question mark, okay, or indeed anywhere on the artboard, but I'm just going to choose the question mark there, then it will go across to this artboard, and I can determine how it's going to transition between those two things. Might be just carry on doing that. And I could say if you tap on what's hat at any time, it takes you back here, and I can designate any of these artboards as the home screen. So let me just test that out here in a prototype. And if you've got the XD app, you could actually load this onto your phone and show how it works on your phone. So there you go. I tap on that, it transitions across to the hat, and I can then scroll through all of those things, and then I can tap on whatever I made active for the what's hat. Actually, I don't think I connected that up properly. But anyway, there you go. You get the idea. There you are. So that's a quick, really, really very quick, and with loads of gaps in, heads up on what XD can do. But you're going to see some of them with Tim anyway.
Yes.
So shall I hand over to you, good sir?
Absolutely, yes. So XD can do so much more than just app and prototype design, and I think since this is only the second time we ever had XD on the Adobe UK stream, so most of you will have never seen XD in the real life, and I think it's really important that we can share how XD might be beneficial for your workflow, even if you're not an UX or UI designer, because I'm not a UX or UI designer and I still use it. And just as a reminder, XD is free. So everything I will show you today, there's a free starter plan in XD. You can follow along and you can do everything I'm about to do for free. No extra cost.
Perfect.
So that's one of the big reasons why XD is such a great app, and you can use it for much more purposes than just UX UI design. Right. Okay.
I'll stop my share, good sir.
No, you can keep that on, because I think we will use it later, perhaps for some cool features we might show. So you can just keep that on. I will switch to my screen. If you give me a second, hang on. Whoop, there we go. So now, welcome to my
So cool.
Oop, that's a spoiler. Just minimize that for a second. And today I thought we should just, because this is a Timmistified stream and we want to demystify some of the workflows we have on Adobe Live. And what I'm about to show you, those are the real assets, the ones we actually use to produce this very show. So let's dive right in. I thought, because this is a Timmistified, let's take a look at the behind the scenes assets. So this is, if you check a little look, these are the assets we use for our stream. So these are the thumbnails. And I thought, you know what? We have been using those very same assets for, well, since, hang on, I can tell you exactly, since March 30, yeah. So every day the same assets, and wouldn't it be great to perhaps design a new one, just to reflect the extraordinance of the Timmistified stream, because I think it deserves just a little bit more uniqueness. And the design is not bad. I'm not saying that, but yeah, it's kind of samey. We're not even seeing the artwork of the guest, so perhaps it's time to do a redesign, and that's what we would like to do today. That's what I would like to do today, and I hope you can join along. And also we have a second thing, which I would like to briefly show you, which is this right here. These are our social assets. And as you can see, they are different. They don't look anything like our current YouTube assets, the one for the thumbnails. And I would say maybe they should at least look similar. So perhaps we can integrate the social assets in a way where we can just derive them from our main asset, which we will create today. So just perhaps XD can help us there. I don't know. Let's see. So just as an overview, those are our social assets. We're doing Facebook assets, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram stories, Instagram carousel. So those are the things I would like to somehow incorporate today. And the reason why we use XD, by the way, just if you're curious, why we're not using Photoshop, for example, because XD has a really great feature, which is called components. We'll get to that in a moment. And if I just take an image, any image, I drop, oh, no, wrong one. Let's try that again. There we go. So if I drop any image, you can see it automatically updates all the assets for me. I don't have to do anything. Same thing with the text. If I change the text, for example, today it's Tim and Tony. See that? It automatically updates everything. So I, as an asset creator, I just have to do it once, and then I can export all the assets, and I'm ready to stream. So that's one of the big reasons why we use XD apart from any other app, because this, I think that's just such a time saver, isn't it? So yeah.
Amazing.
Back to that, let's change it back. And like I said, perhaps we can create also some social assets without any work at all. We don't want to redesign anything. We just want to take the original file and do some magic in XD to create our social assets. Right, so I hope, lazy Tim, I know, not lazy, workflow efficient. I think that's what it's called.
Workflow efficient, hello, yeah, definitely.
Yes. I mean, I'm getting paid to do this, and why shouldn't I
study
save
lazy
as much time as
people.
possible? Yeah, I'm getting paid to do this, so I should save as much time as possible so I can stream. I don't know, prepare for the stream, perhaps. All right, so let us create a new XD file. So let's just start here, and on macOS you have to do that via the bar at the top. On Windows you just click on this hamburger icon, say new, and you have a bunch of presets. Today we will use the 1920 by 1080, there we go, preset, which is full HD, the one we will use for YouTube, and I can minimize that, full screen that, and there we go. This is our blank artboard. Now, I think it would be great to have two things featured on this overlay, on this thumbnail prominently. One of them is the artist, and the other thing is their artwork, because those are the two things that might entice you to just click on that image and to join the stream. So I prepared a folder right here. It's a big folder with some assets, which I will use today. And of course, if you follow along, you can use any images. Honestly, it doesn't matter today. Right. So let's start with the artist, which in this case, today, that's me. There I am. And of course, instead of just, if we go to the old one, perhaps we can, hang on, I can drag in the old thumbnail. Just take this, copy, and you can just copy and paste. There we go. And it's the same file, I can still edit it. Just copy and paste between documents, totally works. And I would say perhaps we could make the artist bigger. As all the clients always say, make the logo bigger. Today we're making the artist bigger. That's me.
Yes.
Because I am big, pretty large, pretty tall.
You are pretty tall, it has to be said.
Thank you.
How tall are you?
2 meters and 3 centimeters, or 6 foot 8 inches.
There you go. All 6'8" of Tim.
Tim actually sits.
Tim actually sits on a small box that high.
On the floor, actually.
On the floor. So that it comes within range of his camera. They're loving this, Tim, by the way. Carry on, mate. Sorry.
So am I, believe me. All right, okay. Make myself bigger. I'm all into that. Okay. Right, so I thought, because just dragging myself in, I mean, we could do it like this and call it a day. I mean, honestly, what a beauty. But perhaps that's not the thumbnail we're after. So instead, I would say we use the pen tool. Oh, sorry, Tony is on a slight delay, so yeah. We can just use a pen tool and just create a random blob, a bit like this. And just move that around. And if you're familiar with the US design for the thumbnails, you might see where I'm going with this. And just draw a random blob in here with a pen tool. And of course, I can just click on the anchor points and I can change them, no big issue. This is not nearly as complicated as any of the other path tools. I can just click on the, holding the command key, I can just click on the anchor points and the handles and move that around. Okay, and I am mostly happy with that. And now I can just, in XD, take my image from the browser. Not working today. So do I have to select that?
It's because we've got magic stuff going on. That's what it is.
We have magic stuff going on. I promise you, this worked yesterday. Hang on. Okay, not an issue. I can do it a different way. I can just drag it in, scale it up, and say mask with shape. Whoop. There we go. And if you're on macOS, you will find that shortcut in the bar at the top. So yeah, that might be different for you. So I've masked that with a shape, which means it's a bit like a clipping mask, if you know the Photoshop terms. So this means I can drag this around, and this will be constrained by the shape we had. Not that easy. And now, I don't know, perhaps we should add a background and a name and the topic of the stream. So let's go ahead and do that. Because I'm not an artist, I have just licensed, I was about to say stolen, but I've licensed that one from Adobe stock. And it's not my artwork, but I've licensed this one. This is just an image from Adobe stock, and I will pretend like I'm the artist of this image today. Hope you forgive that. And just like we did a few seconds ago, well, interesting, now it works. See that? Okay, all right. It should have worked like that before. Perhaps we have just a special version of XD. Who knows? Yeah. So I will take this image, just copy it here, and I can scale that down. A bit like this. And now I can move it in the background, because XD has a layer system like any other app. I have multiple ways of doing that. I can right-click on it, say arrange, center back, or I can just
use your shortcuts too.
Use shortcuts, which are different because I'm using a German keyboard, so you might have different shortcuts. But no worries, I will show you two ways which you can get around that. First thing is, open the layers panel and just drag it down. And the other thing is, if you know about plugins, you can install the keyboard shortcut plugins, and there you have all the keyboard shortcuts which you will ever need. And look at that, center back, shift, control, and open brackets, which might be different on a Mac. That's just
no, that's the same, exactly the same. Shift command, left bracket, shift command, right bracket.
Well, there we go.
To do that. So yeah.
And if we have more time at the end, I would love to talk to you about plugins, but let's go back to the topic at hand, which is me. So now we have a background, we have me. Now we need a title, we need the app icon, and my name, because it could be interesting for those who have never heard of me. Who is this guy? Who is this handsome fellow? So
handsome and modest fellow. Who is this?
Yeah, handsome, modest.
Who is this handsome, modest
big,
fellow?
Tall. He smells nice. Yes. Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's add a title. So I'll just select the text tool, or press T for the text tool. Click here, and just type my name. And we will have to use 2 lines. And of course, this is A, way too small, B, not the right font, and C, not the right color. So let's just scale it up first, like this. Perhaps even a bit more. There we go. Let's change the color. So just double click on it, select it. Go to the, which is actually just behind us, but I think you can still see it. The fill panel, and just pick a different color, in this case white. And now let's pick a different font, because obviously this isn't the best one. This is Seago UI, which is the Windows default font. Because we are doing Adobe assets, I'm supposed to use the Adobe Clean font. You will not have access to that one. This is an Adobe exclusive font. So let me just go here, scroll all the way up.
You're getting a little fan club, mate. You are getting a little fan club. People saying, "Oh, can we have Tim back next week?" Good news, everyone.
I'd love to. What a coincidence.
That's funny you should say that.
Right, so I will use the Adobe Clean font. And since you don't have the Adobe Clean font, that's not an issue at all, because Adobe XD, like all the other apps, has access to Adobe Fonts. So I will just open that. And
it should make that noise when you do it.
Yeah, it does if you do that. Watch it.
Oh yeah, very good. And I love the way that bounces on. Good
yes,
path animation. Yeah.
Let me just full screen that. And you can also see some of my behind the scenes assets. Don't pay attention to that. Now we have here our Adobe Fonts. You can activate as many as you like. I activate, for example, Acumen, and Acumen will show up. If I go back to XD, it will actually show up right here. There it is. So if you activate any font in here, for example, let's say, I don't know, Let's browse some fonts. I need slab serif font. Why not? A very thick one. And yeah, Oxtail. Why not? Great font. View family. Great typeface, I mean. And we can just review that. We can say, well, let's see. Yes, looks awesome. Bigger. Yep, I like that. We can activate the font. Oh, twice. And yeah, in a moment. Hope you heard that. My Creative Cloud just let me know in the corner. You can't see that. Like, hey, new fonts added. And perhaps, I hope, it actually updates it live. Let's see about that. Come on. There it is. Now I can use this one if we like. I'm not going to because this is not our brand guidelines, but we could absolutely do that. All right. So back to Adobe Clean. Let's pick a slightly bolder one. I think extra bold. I'm feeling extra bold today. And let's remove a bit of that. What's that called? Leading? The space between the
interlinear lines? Space, leading,
leading. Okay, so let's take that a bit down, just a touch. Yep, there we go. Awesome, we can make it bigger.
Nice.
So, because remember, I'm making this really, really big because thumbnails, layer thumbnails, usually are that small. So you just have to go big or go home. Doesn't work otherwise. All right.
No, true. And that's a consideration, right? A design consideration that you have to make.
Yes.
You know, how small will this thing be shown?
And you will notice I will go way more vibrant today than I would ever do if we are designing a big interface, because this thumbnail, believe it or not, it has to stand out. It has to be punchy, it has to be bold, you have to see things, so it can't be just a black and white thumbnail. That wouldn't work. At least not for our purposes. Maybe in other designs, yes. But for today, go big or go home. Right.
Yes.
So, we have a name. We have my face. Now we need, if we look over here, we need the app icon and perhaps a bit of color, because this at the moment is just a color mess. We have to unify it somehow to just have an overall color theme, perhaps even dependent on the app icon. So pink for XD perhaps, who knows. So I thought we could just move this a bit over here, create a rectangle using the rectangle tool, drag it like this on the side, and remove the border, make it black for contrast.
Oh, got a shoulder. Nice.
Okay. Perhaps not the best. Yeah. Anyway, we will get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
And now I would say in the corner we can just adopt this icon again. And below that perhaps just the name of the stream. If we are looking at this in a bigger version, then people have just something they can look at and know what is the stream about. So in this case it would just be Timmistified stream, and we could just put that below that. All right.
Yes.
So app icons. This is a very unique case because Adobe XD works with Creative Cloud libraries. So I can just click on this icon right here. I can have all my demo libraries, the ones which I'm using in the past. And some of those assets, we will use them later. But for today, let's go to the Adobe 2020 brand. This is a private library where we have all the different app icons and all the Adobe assets in there. So yeah, I think we won't do all of them today because it just takes too much time, honestly. But perhaps just a couple of them so you know how it would work if we were to do all of them. Okay, so today I'm feeling like, yeah, this one, and how about, I don't know, XD? Yeah, sure, XD. And any favorites in the chat? Chat, you can let me know which app you would like to have featured. Audition, of course, yes, very important. So let me know in the chat if you have any favorites which we should use today.
Are you going to, just a quick question, mate, while you're going along. Are you going to, so Tim did a fantastic podcasting for beginners thing and the German stream last week.
Yes.
Are you going to do that in English, Tim? Because that was a great stream.
I'd love to.
I'm sure that I'd love to do that here. We'll
perhaps for the next
So there you go. Emma,
time.
if you're listening, do that. Really good.
Yeah, I can totally do that. Right.
Yeah.
So we're saying After Effects. Okay, 3 times After Effects. Okay, we will do After Effects. Why not? Sure. And because I actually am really thankful for that, because After Effects happens to have the same color theme as Audition. Time saved, yes. Okay, right, so those are all the things we need. I can close that for now, and we can go back. So, because I want to save time, I'd love to have a way for me to just have a drop-down menu where I can select the app of the day, and it will automatically switch the app and the background color. A bit like here. So if you look at that, the old version, I can just click on the icon, and over here in the states, I have prepared all the different assets, all the different fonts, not fonts, icons, and the background colors. So if I click on that, I can just go through the ones I need. So for example, we're doing an audition stream for next week. There we go. Audition stream, click on audition, and I'm done.
Smart working.
No selecting any colors, no dragging in any of those icons, just there we go. And that's
smart work.
It will take a bit of work to prepare that, but if you have that, it's so much easier. And think of like one asset, fine. But perhaps if we have like, I don't know where it is, there we go. If we have 1,000 assets, or even just those, it just saves you that much time. Right, okay. We will create that right now. I will show you how to do that. So let's go. I have so many XD documents open. I think that's it. Yeah, right. Okay.
By the way, the suggestion of you doing your podcast thing next week, that's going down really well. Also, Johanna is here. So surreal to see the makings of the design layout I work with every day. There we go.
Oh, amazing. All right. So what I've done is I have taken all the different app icons and I just move them on top of each other. So using the smart guides, they can just be aligned. And if I don't have any guides, I can also do this, select them and go up here, center, center. There we go. And now they're all on top of each other. And now we could just create a component with different states. I will show you how to do that in a second. And then we will be able to switch through them however we like. But since I want to also switch the color of this background a bit, I will create this asset first, and then we will merge them and it will all come together, I promise. Okay, so the app icon will go here in the corner, and below that we will have text, so perhaps we should just add that now. So this would be the Timmistified stream. Yes, and we can rotate that holding the Shift key. Scale that down. Pick a less bold font, regular, sure, why not? Move that over here. And we're getting there. That's a bit too large. There we go. And this is like if the user already opened the video and they see the really big thumbnail, this is just for them so they can see what's going on. This doesn't have to be visible in the small version at all.
No, they'll see the mnemonic, the icon, and then they'll get an idea of what it's about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as always, if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the chat. Tony will make sure to have an eye on the chat and interrupt me rudely if we have any questions.
As is my way. But there you go. Notice this. Everybody's loving this, Tim, just at the minute. They really, really are. Like I said, awesome. The podcasting is a good idea.
Yes.
They think you're getting 50 quid every time you won't say no. That's from Sandrine. But actually,
yes.
He's getting 50 quid every time he says...
Yeah, yeah, ding dong.
Ding dong. That's today's,
so confusing
today's word of the day was yeah, or phrase of the day. Yeah, ding dong.
It's going to be so confusing for those of you who have never watched that movie. Oh,
play yeah, ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. Play yeah, ding dong. We're going to have a
the movie we're referencing, by the way, is on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's Will Ferrell's Eurovision. It is a spectacular film. Really, really good. Very, very uplifting.
That's
very
Eurovision.
Funny.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Color me confused.
Play ja, ding dong.
Play ja, ding dong. With a flugelhorn.
With a flugelhorn, yeah, absolutely. Oh god, I could do with a flugelhorn right now. I did try to order one yesterday, but they wouldn't arrive in time.
Or perhaps it was you have entered the wrong coordinates. Perhaps we have to. I think we have to find a solution. Yeah.
I bet XD's got one. If we've got the time, let's find out if XD's got one.
We should do a solution.
Yeah.
Okay, but back
the
to the
hidden
topic.
flugelhorn. Yes.
This is just too warm in here. Okay, right. So I want to create a colorful background because remember, color is key. We want to show which app we're using just if you look at the color. So I will create a new rectangle like this, just over the background. There we go. And using the keyboard shortcuts, I will move that to the background. No, not that much. And now it should sit, if I add a drop shadow, the text, you can actually see that it's sitting behind it. Now we have a background. How about we create a gradient, do a bit of a background blur, and add some color with some blend.
That would be amazing. Do that.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. I only know Ding Dong the Witch is Dead. Oh, great movie.
Oh, $100 hit. There we go.
Okay. So, because XD doesn't just support solid colors, it also supports gradients. So let me click on this. Oh yeah, you can see that. Linear gradient. Let's move that here and there. Let's pick some beautiful colors. How about Audition Blue? Or let's start with XD because it's the most fun. And we are in XD right now. So let's pick some vibrant. Yeah, sure. Why not? Of course, you can pick any colors you like. Doesn't matter at all.
You could have picked some from the image as well, couldn't you? You could have
Absolutely,
shifted it and picked from the image.
I could even go with the brand colors for XD. I can use those. I can also just go to the app icon, sample from there, but I will use some colors I like because I want to really go with vibrant colors. So that's the ones I will use. So it's a very subtle gradient, perhaps a bit too subtle. There we go. Now I can use blend modes or blending modes and background blur to let some of the background shine through.
Nice.
Right. So let's do that. First of all, let's do the background blur. Sure, why not? Now, to show that, I will move our cameras over a bit so you can. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Let's move. Just to prove this. There we go. Let's move our cameras over, and now I can show you. Select that again. Blend modes, because I can select darken, multiply, and those are just like the blend modes in Photoshop, in After Effects, in Illustrator, in... Where also are they? In InDesign? Do we have blend modes in InDesign, Tony?
Yeah, there are. Inside of the object attributes, you can change some blend modes. They're not... So yeah, they're all there.
Okay, perfect. And today I think I will use the color blend mode because it will keep the brightness or perhaps the hue.
Just uses the underlying luminosity to...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Keep the brightness, but it will change hue and saturation. Right. So, now to the background blur, which is just below all those assets right here. So, background blur. And now it's gone again. What happened? It just so happens that you also have another opacity slider down here. I didn't know that at first. I was like, oh, where's it gone? I've just changed it to pink. What happened? So you can go back. If you look at that. Whoop, 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 whoop. And now we can just find a point in between where we are happy with that. Perhaps, yeah, about 50%. Sure, why not? And we can play with the brightness and like a bit darker. We can play with the blur amount. That's a bit too much because obviously we still want to see the artwork in question. So how about, yeah, how about this? And now we have 1, the color, but 2, also the background of the artist who's featured today. So in that case, me. Right. And I'm fairly happy with that, if you asked me. Yeah. So let's move on. Just for the time's sake, let's move on. Okay. How about we can now add icons. So let's just select all of them, scale them down, move them all around. Getting messages on my watch. Anything important? No, I don't think so. No. like this.
We've got quite a lot of the international crowd in today, Tim.
Awesome.
It's really good. As well as Johanna, of course, we've got Steve from New Zealand. We've also got Cody Bear in as well. So
awake already. Oh,
it's crazy, amazing. Right? Just for you, waking up just to see you do this stuff. Really good.
All right, I'm just changing a few things around, and let me just find XD and move that to the front. Let's align them again, because obviously we want to start with XD.
Yeah.
There we go. No, it's not aligning today. There we go. All right. So, yep, I like that. And you know what? I changed my mind. I don't really like this blob. It just covers too much of the background, and I'm not really happy with that. Wouldn't it be just
okay?
How about? Hang on. Let's remove that again. Let's add my face again. No, not like this. I changed my mind. There we go.
Dude.
There. Okay. So how about we just...
You're worth your height in gold, mate.
Oh, okay. How about we just remove the background? How about that? So we just have a cut of myself, just like we have it right here, where you can see me right here, right now. But how would we ever do that? This can't be done in XD, can it, Tony?
Well, no. How would you do that? It's crazy.
I can just right-click and say Edit in Photoshop.
Yeah.
And just like
magic,
magic,
ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. And just like magic, in a moment, Photoshop will open like this. And now I can use the new and improved. If I remove this lock icon right here, remove background, click on that, hands off. Give it a second. And there we go. Remove the background just like that. And I might want to highlight the mask, because look at that. It even got my hair. Didn't do that before.
Perfect.
Right. So how would I bring it back? Just Command or Control Save, go back to XD, and there we are. It's that easy, right? Okay. So now I do have a much better view of the background. I still have the artist, and you can see it did cut out my hair. And how about, I don't know, just a subtle, colorful drop shadow to offset myself from the background. So add a shadow, because shadows don't just have to be black, they can be colorful, just like this. So let's pick a nice pink, make it vibrant, a bit darker perhaps. And now you can see we have this almost like a glow around myself. Now why am I doing this? Because now I can take the text, scale it up, and move it slightly behind myself. So now we have this sort of like a 3D effect. Know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a bit of depth. Nice. And that's what I really, really like. It's subtle. I know. But I feel like this just adds some depth. Now also if I add like, I don't know, master class in the background, I could really... Oh, not that one. I could move it somewhere great where it looks awesome. I won't do that because I'm not a designer, but yeah, you could absolutely do that. Okay, so I am pretty happy with that overall layout. Of course, Tony's getting a message.
Hello? Oh, is it? Oh, no, I'll tell him. Okay. Yeah, cool, thanks. Yeah, that was the 90s, Tim. They said, can I have the drop shadows back?
Right, thank you for joining us today. Goodbye. Okay, right. Yeah, sorry about the drop shadow. Okay, where were we? Right, I'm fairly happy with that design.
Sorry, mate.
Don't have anything against it. And I want to go. Of course, I can tweak it any way I like, but I don't have the time to do that because we have only 15 minutes left. And I have so many more things to show you. So let's go to the cool things, the cool features, because I want to create a way for me to automatically select the right color, the right app icon, and no, well, not perhaps the right text, because we will still have to change that for each guest. Yeah. So let's go over to the layers panel. select the correct artboard. In this case, name your artboards. YouTube thumbnail. Okay, open that, click on that. It opens this artboard, the layers, and now I can select these icons. No, not me. Yes, that one, this one, and that one. We need the rectangle, I believe. This one. Yes. Just move that over here. Move that to the top like this. Sorry, I have to just rearrange some things for it to work. So
it's right, but people are loving it, Tim, and they cannot believe that time is flying like this.
That Tim is flying. Yeah, I know.
That Tim is flying.
I know.
Tim and time are flying.
Okay.
And Stuart's wondering when the beveled edge and lens flare will come back.
Oh, soon. We already have a lens flare. Look at that. See that? In the corner. We have a lens flare. Oh, wait for it. If we have the time, we will go a bit to the Big Sur icons for macOS. We will bring back the bevel, believe me.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Right, so now I have selected all the things I'd like to change. Oh, no, I didn't. Hang on, I missed the rectangle. There we go. No. What's this rectangle? Hang on. Oh, it's that one. I did select it, didn't I? Let's try that again. Oh, yeah. There, yeah, I did. So now I have selected all the assets I would like to change. Let's bring them back. And now I can create a component based on that. So I just click up here, component. I now have a default state. I can move the component up if I want to. I can create a copy of that component if I want to. And this copy, this child, so to say, will always reference the master file, the master component. And there's much more logic to that than I can ever get into today. Perhaps on a future stream, components, such a great feature, such a time saver. For today, we will not even use them to their fullest. Okay, so in the components, I can now create different states. So let's do that. First of all, let's click on the plus icon, new state, and let's call this one XD, because this is an XD stream. And now in that XD state, I can go into that component in the layers board and hide all the other icons I don't need. I could even delete them, but for this example, I'll just hide them. Okay. And now, I thought I renamed the state. Hang on, let's try it again. XD.
You did, didn't you?
Enter.
You did, yeah.
I think I forgot to press enter. There we go.
Ah.
Classic mistake. And now I can create a new state. I think you know where this is going. And we call it After Effects, AE. Enter. Open the component again. And this time, of course, we will hide the XD component and we will show After Effects. And, of course, we will change the color to a nice blue, like this. I don't know. You will pick a different color, of course. And change the gradient to a different one, like this. And you will pick beautiful colors, unlike me. And then what we also have, Audition and CC. Okay, so let's create Audition. And now you know why I don't want to create all 500,000 apps of them, because it's just the same process. Hide After Effects.
But once this work is done, the main thing is, Tim, you've only got to change like one thing.
Exactly.
And you can just rock these things out. And hopefully, well, I'm sure people are getting that, actually. Totally getting that.
The final one, CC, again, just open the component. And my MacBook is running out of battery. I just have to find the charger. Hang on. There we go.
Go, go, go.
In. Because I still want to see the chat. CC. So hide all the other icons, show the CC icon, pick a different color for the rectangle. I don't know. Red. Oh no, I know. Something colorful, yellow and pink. Why
nice.
not? Really bold, colorful. You might not like that color, but I do. So.
That's good. Complementary. They're complementary, so it's really good.
Same thing for this one. Do this.
Actually, no, they're not complementary. Thinking about it, they're kind of analogous, aren't they? Yeah. But anyway.
And there we go. We did it.
Nice.
And hopefully, if I did everything right, which I hope I did, fingers crossed, I should now be able to select. Oh, I forgot to move myself. I should now be able to select all the different apps. Yeah, and it works. And it will automatically switch all the things I didn't want to switch. Now, of course, I will remove the component below the text and below my name. And I might have to scale the background up because of the blur a bit. Yeah, I think I missed something there. Oh, there we go. Yep, that works. And now, can just click on the icon, go through all the different app icons, and that's so much work I can save. So much work. Right.
So good.
Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Good.
And speaking of saving time and saving work, let's save a document. And I'm using a cloud document today. There are two options to save documents, cloud documents and local documents. I like cloud documents because I don't have to care about saving. See that? Oh, what? No, we missed it. It just said saving up there. It just said saving. I don't have to save, ever. I can just rename this one the first time. Save
and
it.
also collaboration. Real-time collaboration is another thing that works really well. So if you're working with other people and they're producing assets and you can work in the same document.
But wait, there's more.
Yes,
we also have version histories. So if I ever mess up, I can just go back. Isn't that great? Right, okay. And we have many more features with that, but we can't go to any of those because we don't have the time to do that. We have so much more to show you today. And I think we will have to go over time by a few minutes. I hope that's okay for you.
We're all good. We're all good here.
Right. Next thing. I said social assets. So let's just take a look at the current ones. And as you might see, well, they're great. They're beautiful, sure. But they look nothing like these ones right here. Sorry for all the zooming in and out, but they look nothing like them. Both great designs, but perhaps we can just find a way to reuse the assets we just created, this one, and use them for our social media campaign. How about that?
Nice.
But let's do this. Okay, so I can do a few things before we go there. I will first of all create a component for my image, and I will create a component for this text. Why will become obvious in a moment. And of course also this one. There we go. So I've just created components for my image, this text, and that text. We will see why that's important in a second. So now I can just take the Alt or Option key, duplicate that, and let's, you know what, let's pick a different one. Let's pick XD. It should automatically update. This time it didn't. Okay, never mind. Right, so XD. And now we can just use the cool feature which is called responsive resize and content-aware layout to automatically create, I don't know, a banner icon perhaps. So let's call this banner. And we need a really wide design because banners usually are super wide. So let's create that and just flip this switch. Oh, hang on a second. Weren't you able to see my cursor the whole time? No.
No, but you can see what's happening.
Oh, there we go.
That.
Why did nobody tell me?
I think Julia Seeger called it last week, actually, and she's not giving it back. Naughty Julia.
Oh, no. I'm really, really sorry about that. So we have to do the whole stream again.
And we can see it.
Now I enabled it. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So we have to do the whole stream again.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's book it in for an extra hour.
Sorry about that. Okay, so welcome to Adobe Live. I'm a professional. You can trust me. Okay, start over. Yes. No. I hope you saw what I was doing, and I tried to make sure you did. All right. So,
no, man, I'm sure everybody has. It's good.
So, content-aware layout. I just flip this switch over here, which you can see because I'm pointing to it with my cursor. And now I can just take the artboard and watch this. Oh, nope, didn't work this time. Great. It should work. Why doesn't it work? The background should stretch. It doesn't. No. It did work last time, I promise. Oh, hang on. I have to show it to you because this does work. And I don't know what I did wrong because this is live. But you can trust me. Let's take this, what I've prepared earlier, which looks slightly different. So let me show that to you. It does work. See? It works.
There you go.
And to save time, because we only have for 4 minutes, you just have to believe me that I created all of those assets just like I did. Apart from this one down here, where I moved the text vertically so it just fits in. But the rest of them I created just like we did. Oh, and I've moved the text up there. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. But the rest of them I truly, honestly created just like that. And you just have to believe me for that moment.
I believe you, Tim, because I've seen you do it.
Yes. So, by the way, if you're interested, those are the versions I created. Looks slightly different, perhaps. I don't know, maybe you like this one. I like the new ones. Much more pink.
They're good. They're good.
Oh,
we ought to, while we're going on, we ought to think about what challenge we're going to set for our community. We ought to get them to do something and pop it into the Discord, I think. That's what we should think of. How about
you create your own fictional Adobe live stream? Because we're always looking for guests. And for that stream, you create one thumbnail, like one asset, like this one. So just take your image. Doesn't have to be a cutted one. You can use the blob like I did before. Just bring it in and put in your name, a background. You don't even have to do the component things, but perhaps that would be a cool challenge. I would love to see your streams. And if you can think of a pun for your name, extra bonus points.
Absolutely. And also if you can get Flugelhorn in there.
If you can get Flugelhorn.
Yes. That's an excellent thing. Does it have to be in UX? Do you mean XD? Yeah, do it in XD, Jackie. Try something out in XD.
Try it out.
Give it a go.
It's free.
Post your thing. Keep your document just in case. Who knows why? But yeah, keep it.
It's free.
Absolutely. Then we can have a review show.
But how would we ever review your files?
Well, we'd have to. That's what I'm saying. Keep the file because we might ask you to provide it.
We'll get to that in a later stream because we only have like 4 minutes left, and I want to show you 2 cool more things.
Oh no, I've got Mavis yet.
3 more things. Okay, turbo mode. Right. We will just skip the assets. You will just have to. Okay. So I want to create. If we go back to the main cam, like this, you see this outline around us. I want to create this one. And because we are going with a new and bold color theme, how about a new redesign with bright and cool colors? How about that? So let's do that.
Yes.
Right, go back to my screen and let's create a new artboard using the Artboard tool. I can pick from the presets and I will use the 1920 by 1080, which is in here somewhere. That is. Create that. Change the background to transparent. Like this. And now I can create my new rectangles, the one you see around me right now. So, of course, it has to be 16 by 9 because of some aspect ratio. So, do I have a 16 by 9 image? No, I don't. Okay, I just estimate, just guess. So, create a rectangle. Remove the fill. Add a border. White this time. Make it slightly bigger. Add some rounded corners. And now we have a first one. Copy that over. Oh no, we won't. We will do that in a second. Now we can add the name below that. And the reason why I'm showing this is because we do have a new feature in Adobe XD. Stacks. So let's just add a rectangle. Change it to this one. Remove the border. Pick a different color scheme. Linear gradient, sure. Let's go back to the yellow and pink theme. Why not? Because we want to be bold, we want to be colorful. Let's zoom in so everybody can see what's happening. Add some text. The name. Scale that down. And of course my social handle, in this case it's be.net/mobest. Move that all around like this. And now I want to add a separator between those two texts, so I will just add a tiny little rectangle like this. Remove the border. Go back to a linear gradient. Now I would have to do some color theory, which I'm not going to. So you just have to pretend this looks good.
There's a plugin for that, for XD. Oh, yeah, in fact, there's a few that do those. Yeah.
But I don't have the time, so just pretend this looks great. It doesn't, I know. Right. And now, how would I do that if I have like a different guest? How would I change this? Because obviously, typing this in like, I don't know, Sir Tony the Tangent Hammer Jr. That's a tad bit long, isn't it? So now I would have to go in and, I don't know, move that here. And oh no, that's a mess. How about we don't do
that? Get that stack mode going, man.
Instead, select them, group them, and click on stack. It will automatically figure out everything there's to do. And now I can just go in there. Sir Tony Hammer Senior or Junior, whatever. And it will automatically move everything around at Tony Hammer. And I have my overlay. And now I could copy this. If I select both, I can copy both actually. There we go. I can move it all around and I could actually use it as an overlay.
There you go.
And I'm really, really sorry. We only have 10 minutes left if we go over time. So let's skip some of the design process. I've prepared some things earlier for you. Let's just pretend I did them. Now, if I can find them. Oh, there we are. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I mocked that up using the actual assets and it would look like this. And because you can do that in XD, you can do mockups, you can create artboards, you can merge artboards. So if we just stack them right here, then you can see if it works, you can move it all around however you like, and then you can create your custom assets in a breeze. It's that easy.
That's good.
Right, as a last thing, because I really, really want to get to that. I won't design it because we don't have the time to do that. Antonio also wants to show a cool thing. We'll just pretend that I created this terrible, terrible design right here.
You can do yours if you want. We can do mine next time. Let's do yours. Carry on, do yours.
It's really cool. It's really cool. If you can.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Close this. Oh, that's me. Hang on. Boop, 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 boop. Like this. There it is. Okay, let's do it because it's really fun. I saw the Big Sur icons in the new macOS keynote.
Yeah.
The WWDC. And I thought, could we somehow combine this icon aesthetic with a cool thing we could use for the Timmistified streams? Because I would love to have a soundboard where I can just click on an icon and it will play a sound back. How cool would that be? Right? And we can do that in XD. So let's just create a new artboard. Any size, how about that? Sure. Let's create our icon. How about, yeah, just a rectangle, square exactly. Round corners, remove the border, create a fill. In this case, I want to go with the XD colors. Why not? Why not?
So good.
So how about that? Sure, that looks awesome. Trust me. Yeah, looks great. Now we have this. Now let's add our speech bubble like I just did. In this case, that's just an ellipse. Of course, without the border. And now I can add a triangle. Move that here. Rotate it a bit until we have a speech bubble. And of course, I can select both shapes and I can use the Boolean options up here, the Pathfinder. Whoop, and merge them just like this. And the great thing about XD is those shapes are still live, so I can go in there. I can still move that around and it will still work.
Yep, so, it's just like working with shapes mode in Illustrator, just a little bit better.
Yes, ellipse without borders, exactly.
Yep.
Right, so I can take this, scale it up a bit. There we go. And now I can add some text inside because I want to know which button I'm pressing, obviously. So let's add, and this we'll call it no. We will call it no. Change the color of the text to, I don't know, dark gray. Pick a nice font. I like, or let's use the one we had. I know it's a serif font, you would never ever do that, but let's just pretend this looks great. Okay. And now I can take this, create a group, so I can have just one as one object. I can enable stacks again. And now I have a button where I can change what's inside, and the icon will automatically update. I know this doesn't look great, because obviously an app icon would never work like that. I know. But for argument's sake, let's pretend it does, and I will show you a different one where it actually would work. So let's say this is no. This is our app icon, and let's add a sound effect. So we will go to the prototype workspace, the prototype tab, click here, click on this arrow, and now we have over here the triggers. In this case, we want to tap on it. We could also do a drag, or key, or voice. In this case, we want to tap on it. It should play some audio, and then we can just pick an audio file. In this case, add a new file. Sure, I'll just navigate to those because you're not allowed to see them. There we go. I just picked Human Crowd No, which is a sound effect Adobe provided, because if you're a Creative Cloud subscriber, you have access to tons and tons of free sound effects, royalty-free sound effects. So I used this one, and now, hopefully, if I click on play, and I move my prototype over here, you should be able to hear that in the stream if I click on it. Hang on, give me a moment. Nope, you didn't. Let's try it again. No! There we go. So I can just click on it, and now, like this, I can create my own custom soundboard. No! And
so good.
Yeah, we can have tons and tons of fun. I could even go like this, and I can go back to design mode, create a stack from this, group it, create a stack, and if I do this, I can go in there and even move those icons around. So if I create like yeah, then I could use a different sound for that. I can just arrange that any way I like. Okay. So, since time has advanced and we only have 3 minutes left, let's go to
get the flugelhorn in.
Go to the one I prepared.
Yes.
I already did this. And down here, this button I created using the same technique. Really just the same, different shape. Everything looks just the same. And also in here, I can go ahead and move around those columns. I can go ahead and move around those icons. This all works. So cool. Right. And I think, Tony, we should order a flugelhorn.
Yeah, I know. I tried yesterday. Maybe you can help, because I couldn't get one yesterday.
Let's do it.
I wanted one for today's show. Try and help me.
Let's do it. Okay. So how about let's just... I could click on it, but I'm feeling lazy today. How about just a bit of voice interaction? Because it just so happens that I created, and I hope this works. I hope this audio setup of mine on my end, I hope this works. I created a voice trigger which has Order Flugelhorn. So if I hold down my spacebar and say Order Flugelhorn, no match for Order Oh yes, German. Yesterday I promise you it worked. Let's try that again. Maybe Tony, maybe you have to say that.
Yeah, Order Flugelhorn.
No. Order Flugelhorn. No. There we go, just have to pronounce it correctly. So, now I can order my personal flugelhorn, and they will ship it to me. Yes, I just have to check the coordinates. Yes, that looks great. Check satellite view. Yes, awesome. And I can click on send my flugelhorn on my way, and they will make sure to send it over. Ah, man, nice. I wish we had a sound effect on that. Too bad. Maybe we do. I don't know. Do I have a sound effect? Just to close off the stream, that would be so fun. Do I have a sound effect? Come on. No? Really?
I can't believe it.
I thought I had... Oh, there it is! Yes, of course I do. Hang on. We have to try that. That would be the end of our stream, I promise. But okay. Click on that tab trigger. Or we can create a new one. Sure, why not? Let's create... Yeah, no, let's go back. Sorry. Getting excited over here. Right, audio playback. There we go. Audio playback. Add new file. Now I just have to navigate to that folder off screen, which I can't show you because it has files in there which you're not allowed to see. But I can show you this. Now I can just select my...
They're not from my 2021 calendar, are they?
Oh dear, no.
Oh, good.
Just import this file. And now we can do... There we go. Yes, and that's it from me.
So good.
Thank you. Oh man, we had so many more things I would love to show you, but unfortunately we're all out of time. So let's go back to the big camera.
We are.
Thank you so much. Oh man.
That was a good giggle. I enjoyed our first Timmistified, Tim. It was really good.
Sorry, that was Pio.
The flugelhorn of relief. Anyway, people, don't forget you can join us on Discord. Don't forget, post to us those your XD efforts. So let's get some challenges going. We can, if we get enough responses, we'll keep them going. So yeah, do that. Join us with Discord. Stay with us every weekday here between 12 and 1. A different Timmistified segment every now and then, which is really good. I think every week would be better. But there you go. So for now, though, it's goodbye from me. And it's certainly goodbye from Tim.
Absolutely. And if they ever invite me again after this flugelhorn incident, I will promise to show you some cool things in Audition, which we never had featured on Adobe Live in the UK ever before. So
that would be
make
really
sure
good.
to tell us if you like the stream in the Discord. And I will make sure to toot my own flugelhorn and say, if you appreciate the stream, click on the thumbs up button below the stream. Really help me. Also.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. Stay creative. Bye.
Bye.